I'm here because I am a roaring lion crying out righteousness. I want to continue a reference I have been going through that the worst stock of black men that have ever been raised on American soil have been raised over the last 50 years. We have the least productive, the most vile, the most imprisoned, the most violent, the least responsible black man. We've been here since 1619, allegedly to some of the people that keep track of the first coming to America by black people in terms of slavery. But even in slavery, I mean, we were able to raise Nat Turner and Frederick Douglass. You can say what you want about them in terms of post-slavery and, if you will, abolitionists and post-abolitionists. But the worst crop of black men ever have been raised over the last 50 years. And if you know a black man who's between the age right now of 1 and 50, he is a part of the worst generation of black men that have ever walked upright on American soil. He's the least protective of his family. He is the poorest. He is the most homeless. He is the most imprisoned. His sons have been shot down and killed. He has been shot down and killed. He has been raised by his mother, who doesn't know how to raise a man. His father has perpetuated the situation, and his mother still looking for somebody to love her, looking for a man. There ain't no man. The worst marital conditions for the black woman on planet Earth in terms of finding a husband has never been as bad. A black woman would be more productive finding a husband on the moon than she will on planet Earth. Years ago, going back 50, 60 years ago, when black men were men, the average black girl, 17, 18, 19 years old, would have at least 3 or 4 men proposing to her. She'd have that many men want to marry her. I'm going to tell you the truth. Every black woman knows this. The black men that have been raised over the last 50 years, raised by the civil rights movement, raised by the likes of Jesse Jackson, Al Sharpton, later on with T.D. Jakes and Obama, and the so-called mega preachers, the black woman knows you can't find a man. I don't care how good you look, how tight your skirt, how low the cut on your bra, how pushed up your bra is. You can't find no man out there. Now, he ain't there. Now, there are plenty of them sleeping on the street. There are plenty of them in prison. And there are plenty of them that have turned fairies. There are plenty of men out there looking for men, too. There are plenty of black men looking. There might be more black men out there looking for a black man than the black woman. It's a mess. It's a scream, I tell you. It's a scream. And why is this so? Because of the cultural, if you will, the failure of truth, the failure of the churches, the failure of the politicians, the failure of the mothers and fathers to follow the tradition. When that civil rights movement hit, that Dr. King movement hit, black people went buck wow. I mean, they went buck wow. After Shirley Chisholm and Adam Clayton Powell, they went buck wow. Crazy liberals, if you will, giving up and expecting the government to do everything for them, hating white folk and marching up and down, burning down buildings like they're starting fires. I mean, the black family went buck wow. They think I'm crazy because I keep telling you, but look at where you are. Are you a black woman? I don't care how good looking you are, your long hair and long legs and a nice fanny and a protruding breast. Ain't no black man out there. The black man you're looking at is looking at the black man in the next cubby in the office. He's looking at the man too. It's a scream. It's the worst condition on planet Earth. There's never been a time when the black family have been so destroyed. And this is the reason being is when you lift up somebody like that Barack Hussein, the long-legged Mac Daddy Obama, I mean, even Ray Charles could see that man was funny than a $3 bill. And he wasn't even black, raised up in Hawaii as a surfer and spent the first 9 years of his life in Indonesia being raised by a tranny who had cut off his junk And Obama was in the house with that tranny day in and day out when he was 9, 10, 11, 12 years old with that tranny. You call that your first black president? You sickos, you black people. You sick. You know, okay, so he'll go find a black man. Black children ain't got no fathers. And then I try to talk to the mothers. He's supposed to make us feel good. He's supposed to be putting people down. So, I would want to say that to you. I think it's very important that I do, that you understand that that's the condition. And God has called me to raise up men of righteousness. I don't expect most of y'all agree with that. Most of y'all are just as stupid, sick, poor, imprisoned, impotent as you could possibly be. And some of you black men out there couldn't make a woman excited about you. You couldn't ring her bell. If you had the Liberty Bell from Philadelphia, when they were ringing that bell during the days of freedom, you couldn't ring that woman's bell because there ain't nothing inside of you to ring no woman's bell. It's a mess, I tell you. Talking about Obama, your first black president. That's Sylvester Houston down in Houston is your mayor. You ain't got nothing? Can't do nothing. Ain't got no money. Broke. Talking about Al Sharpton is a great leader. What a bunch of sickos y'all are. So you don't like Pastor Man, is that right? Well, we ain't for the black man. I sure ain't for y'all. God knows I ain't. Lord have mercy. And anybody that's for you done lost their mind. But I will say this, that I am calling men to righteousness. You come to this ministry, you have to come in, sit down, take 2 or 3 years, just sit down and listen. Don't come in there talking that talk. Come in talking that black talk. You want to get straight. You want to be able to raise your children. And the woman, I've been telling the women, you mothers, y'all the ones that have raised these awful children. You know, your children, mothers, right now you got sons anywhere between 1 and 25 years old or 35 years old. His son's going to be just like your son. It is a perpetual situation that just keeps repeating itself. And if your son happens to meet a woman, and she gets hooked up with your son, he gonna do her just like his father did you. It ain't gonna change. And yet you don't want to hear what I have to say. Is that right? You're gonna go to T.D. Jakes, who set the woman loose, and I told y'all T.D. Jakes said to the woman inside of him, "Woman, thou art loose." And he pulled that woman out of him. T.D. Jakes, right? Pulled that woman out of Eddie Long, out of Will Smith, out of LeBron James. Anyway. So these things are critically important for us, and I am on the mission for Almighty God. I understand that people are not going to listen to what I say. They didn't listen to Jesus, but I'm going to say it. And I thank God for those of you who do. And I thank God for those of you who, this is a pastor man telling the truth, especially those of you who know that it ain't going to get better. You need to step up beside me and say, all right, Pastor Man, I'm willing to submit myself to you. And let's try to get some things done together. I think it'll be very important for that.